Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm here with another decent attack profile, and this time I'll be covering the new right line for brandt, which is the keeper of the moon gate, Veissrugr. So this is yet another new brandt right line, and a lot of times brandt always give us like new ideas into how they want to go with the game, and mainly involved with set order. Same with this deck. Uh, so it's a I have to say it's a very interesting deck in a way on how they want things to work. And I've been playing this for a lot of times today, trying out against like different things. For example, against the lyrical boss, against other decks as well, and see how it went. Also try to like go in like aggression, going fast, or taking a little bit time to play the game, how it works and stuff. So I have some experience on the deck, and I did make some changes after my testing. I did actually record some 5 videos, but I need to take some time to actually look into those to see if any like weird things from there, because it was my like day 1 day 0 kind of thing. So and also before the changes which I'm making here. So yeah, but hopefully I can show you guys on those 5 videos in a later time. Right, so back to the profile. With the right line, I'm using its own right line, where the great one is very important because you need to actually have the moon gate right there. Is a card that you can only put one in your deck, so you do need to make sure you dig it out as soon as possible. And the only way that you probably will lose the moon gate is if your opponent like going for a dangerous grandpa and just suddenly strike you for 1 damage and you have no cards to guard, and that damage is moon gate. If that happens, your game is just lost. So except that you should be able to grab the moon gate through the great one. And with the great 2, you get to search for your beast to start like cycling the stuff, calling out attackers and stuff, so you can get prepared. Yes, from here you can look at top 7 to find 2 of the beast unit cards up to 2, reveal them, and then up to 1 add to your hand. The other will go to the order zone. So it helps you to squeeze your deck as much as possible. And once you get into a boss, then you have quite a lot of skills, which I believe we should be seeing a lot more supports in the future. Now, first skill is a Soul Blast 2. Choose a moon gate from your order zone and choose one of its original active abilities and activate it without paying the cost, so you can actually do it 2 times. And the full power of the moon gate requires you to go into Veissrugr, so you actually start running your engines when you get to grade 3. You can do a little bit of backup if you want to, but sometimes it might be just better to start rolling when you start on grade 3, depending on how you think your stuff on and your resources and stuff. But yeah, I did think is actually better when you start getting to your grade 3 and then you start doing the rolling, so you have more resources to work on. Unless you're running like full out of resources, then you might actually use the moon gate early game. And second skill, when it's unit attacks, counterblast 1, choose up to 2 unit cards with Mystic, or I would just call the beast, in their card names from your order zone. Call each of them to regard circle in the same column, and all of your ephemeral units will get plus 5k until end of turn. So unfortunately, he cannot make 5 attacks for now, because you have to call the 2 units from the order zone in the same column. So you can only do basically like 4 attacks. But then he also gives the ephemeral unit plus 5k, including himself. So at least you can do a little bit of power adjustment even if you can't personalize. So I think it's not that bad. And being able to do more than 3 attacks is something kind of basic in standard right now. There are like Saga that we basically just attack for 3 times until we go into the big move. Then we can do it like once with more than 3 attacks, but usually with 3 punches. But this can do 4, so just by this, it's already quite helpful. And it just depending on how you make your attack sequence, it can make it very scary. And when you use your units with the beast in this card name to put on the guardian circle, put a card with also those beast names in this card name from the drops on the bottom of the deck, and that unit gets shield plus 5k until the end of the battle. So this is also something that I was a little bit of misunderstanding, that I thought I need to actually match the name, but it doesn't actually require you to do so, because as long as they are those Mythish, whatever, again I would just call it beast. As long as you start putting the beast to your guardian zone from hand or intercept, you can choose one from the drop zone and put it on the bottom of the deck to plus 5k. So this is actually helpful because you are running a lot of the beast to use your moon gates to start the multiple attack with your Veissrugr skill. So the more you have is actually helping you out, and you can keep recycling so you are not basically running out of cards in your deck. So that is great. And then you just keep squeezing the units out through the moon gate. You have 2 chances every single turn, and every single time you're looking at top 7. So that's a high chance that you can just squeeze a lot of cards out. And what's left will be non-beast cards, which is your personalized PGs, triggers, maybe orders if you play anything, or any other whatever unit that you put. Right, so just this engine is a very interesting engine to use, because like with Brandt, we have a lot of ways to keep squeezing cards out, and so far what did best is still like Eva, that keep getting the partners out, using Eva's skill to just look at top cards and add one to hand, put the rest to the bottom, and then you go into the new Eva, search an order out, and then like just keep squeezing your deck so you can meet triggers a lot easier. And this is making even a bigger move. Is just like I'm taking a lot of cards from the deck in order to just increase the rates of pulling your triggers. So that is very interesting, I have to say, and I like this kind of idea. So very welcome to actually try this deck out. And going through the main deck, because we need to surpass 2, so personalized is very important, and personalized is also something that helps you make higher power attacks, because so far with the deck, the average attack power isn't that big. You do need to use some tools to make it scary, but most of the time it's not. And then we have another triple rare, which is the first beast, Wolf's Son Rosnir. So he is a wolf, he is the first one, so there I'm supposed there will be like a second, maybe third, so there's a lot more coming in. Hopefully you can make the deck a lot stronger in the future, but so far it's a very good card. Now his first case went on place on Veissrugr Circle, a very great free Vanguard with a Veissrugr in his card name. At the end of turn, when this unit will attack, choose one of your opponent's Veissrugr Circle, and it battles opponent's Vanguard and this chosen units on the Veissrugr Circle. So it's basically attack Vanguard and something else, but only front row. I think they try to adjust this not to be too crazy, that like Vermilion, that you can just attack any circles, but you can only clear the front row. But I think it's still good, because there are good intercept cards or like something that if you're facing like a Dragon Empire deck, they would just intercept and they just play the distinct defensive instinct to bounce it back to hand, but you can kind of stop that because it's being attacked. So that's something great. And the second skill is when this unit attacks, if your auto zone has a moon gate, which it should be, you already get free 5k and you have current, so it's a 15. That can also attack 2 units. And if you willing to Counter Blast 1 or Energy Blast 3, you get to draw a card. Which in this deck, sometimes the energy usage is actually quite loose if you don't spam it, so you can just kind of constantly drawing yourself cards. And if you do have spare Counter Blast, you could actually choose to use Counter Blast. Like if you take a lot of damage early game because you don't have enough shield value, then you can turn those Counter Blasts into draws to actually help you survive a little bit longer. Right. And next is the Crow, which for me, I'm running 4, 8, 12, 15. The max you can run is 16, but I'm going for 15. So it's basically -1 of your max. And I think you can actually go for 16 if you want to. I tried a 14, but I still prefer a little bit more, so I added one more to go for 15. Now, his first skill is basically tells you can use 16, and the second skill is if your Vanguard is Veissrugr, then you get boost. So you can just stay at the back, the 10k boost. You can still go in the front to be just a 10k attacker, and then when opponents attack you, you intercept with it, put another beast from your drop zone to the bottom of the deck, and plus 5k. So they're not just 5k shield, as long as you go into your grave free, they are kind of a 10k shield, right? Now the weak point of this card is one, that you will see a lot of them going through to your hand through your draws, and second is if somehow they get removed from the field before you actually guarding, that is still going to hurt you. For example, if they get put into the soul, or they get locked, they get bind, it's still painful, but they are the key for you to squeeze with your moon gates, because your moon gate can only grab the beast, which basically are these. So we have a total of 19 targets in here, that the max we can take out every time is 3 cards, as long as we are on a gravy Veissrugr. So it's very important that you actually prepare a lot. At first I'm thinking like, can I go somewhere like 12, because it's kind of like facing the same situation with Meteor, that you want to run a lot of them, but then the Meteor is not helping you too much like in the hand. But this is at least some kind of shield value, so it's better than Meteor, but we don't have cards that actually like Meteor that can count as 2 while still being very useful. Because like even if you can have a card that counts as 2, it's still 1 card, so it's still squeezing 1 card only instead of 2. So far with the beast, you actually need quite a lot of numbers. Unfortunately, it has to be. Maybe later we have some way to like improve the quality on how we take cards to the auto zone through the moon gate, or actually adding cards to the auto zone so that we can reuse them a lot easier, and also with some better effects. Because so far it's just something with boost, which is still great, but hopefully we get something better. But for now, to maintain a comfortable experience with the Moon Gate, I think you need to go for 15 to 16 of the crows and then max out these and then waiting for the next support. But it's still a okay card to use because you just ditch it for using your riot deck and then just recycling them for guarding, and they are again sort of like a tanky shield, so yeah, it's still helpful, but hopefully we can replace them with something else in the near future. And then I'm going for the Heroic Beast Drago Kit. So this is a card that I haven't been using. I was using, I think, the Grade 1 Searcher for Grade 2 or higher cards or set orders. I was using that to test, but because the counter box is actually running out quite quick as well, so I'm using this with Bobo Mine instead. Now, before I go into this, let's go for Bobo Mine because it's easy. As long as you have set orders, you after boost, you put it in, counter charge. So it fills your soul, so you can easier to soul blast 2, counter charge, so you can use your resources basically. Now, with our Draco Kit, during the battle is this unit's boost. If you have a Gravy or higher Vanguard with Veissrugr in his card name, it gets plus 5k. Very simple. And when this unit boosts a Grade 3 or higher Vanguard with Veissrugr in his card name, you get another 2k. So it's basically his personal booster. Puts you to 28k just by this pair. And until end of the battle, Soul Blast 1 and put a card with the beast in his card name from drop to the bottom of the deck, energy charge free. Now, the reason I wasn't using this card early game is because I want to, well, first, it's only a great card when boosting the Vanguard, basically. It does help a little bit with the power boost on the side, but it shines behind the Vanguard, right? And I was using the Great Run Search again with the fishing set order that actually doesn't have room for this, but then I realized that the energy usage in this deck is actually quite heavy still, because you do want to save your counter blast for calling 2 units out and plus 5k to the front row, and you still need to save some resources for using a wolf. So this is a card that helps you to go for that. And also when using Bobo Mine, we have the resources to counter charge and use a soul, so that we can actually spare some counter blast for using the wolf if we don't have the energy. But if we can keep constantly using this to do the energy charge, we have the energy to actually do so. And there are a lot of times that you actually stock a lot of the crows through guarding, through using your right deck, and like you might have like 5 of them in your drop zone and you don't have that much on the field or in your hand to recycle them, then this card at least help you to put one inside. But it does cost a soul blast, so you might not be able to use it so freely because you use counter blast 2 to activate the Moon Gate again. But that's also why the Bobo Mine is here, to help you fill up the soul so that you can have less pressure on actually using this card. And then 4 PGs and 1 Twin Cast. If you want to use the Blizzard PG, you can go for it. The Twin Cast is here to just give us a little bit more protection, because the deck, even though you do have some sort of tanky shields, that doesn't mean your shield value is still great. So I'm using this to increase the defense, because if you are using the Cold Land disorder, it counts resting set order, which you only have 1, so it's not helping. And well, you can use the other one that grabs your sort of drop zone to call out, but I think it requires different grades, so I think Dreamcast is still a better option, if you ask me. And then of course, we have a Moon Gate here to squeeze whatever we have. We can only put one, so that's only one that we can use. And then I put in 2 of his ultimate order, which is Eliv Gumani, which is a buff basically to the whole board. You choose your Vanguard with Veissrugr's card name and get all of your regards with the beast in the card names gets plus 5k, and all your regards with the beast in the card name that plays by your card abilities turn get plus 5k until end of turn. So it's basically what you call from your Moon Gate and what you call with your Vanguard skill will get extra 5k, but all your beasts will get plus 5. So all these will get a power buff. And worst of the worst, if you even can't personalize, the crow can still hit for 15. Just by normally calling them already existing. That helps. Not much, but helps. Because if you can't do that, you can't even do a good swing. Right? So I think this is something that already helping the deck, and if you plus on personal ride, the power buff can be very big. But it also eats up counterblast, which is like competing counterblast with your Vanguard skill, which is very important for your multiple attack, and this for the rule for the draw. So yeah, I only run 2, but if you want to try 3, you can probably try go for it. But I usually use it like once per game, so even when I have a lot of counterblast, because I might not have that much of the units on the board. So that's also why I changed the crows to 15 to actually increase the chances that I see them through the Moon Gates, and then buff them with Elif Kumani to maximize the damage that I can do, because I can only do 4 attacks. Now, triggers. I'm using the Daguti for trying to drag a longer game, because I think this like keep recycling, they have some sort of shield value, so anything that help me to sustain the line would be great. If you want to go a little bit more aggressive, you can definitely use the brandt OT for like a sudden buff to the whole front row. You can also use the water OT to grab you some pieces to reuse while gaining crits, so you have more crits to use. Fire OT I think works too, but personally I do like Dark OT more, because it's something that can actually helps me early game, where whatever I pick up from the damage, I can just call it and give it plus 100 million, and then it's also the 10k, right? And worse than worse, I can just give it 10k and 100 million to something else, so you can do more attacks for the turn, which I might not have a lot of resources to commit early game. So I like the Dark OT more, but brandt OT is fine, water OT is fine, fire OT is also fine. And Soaring Crit, you do need the soul unfortunately, so backup plan, just put it there. More crits, so a total of 7 crits. And then 4 of the soul in front, you do need that, because you need the soul last to basically every single turn. So yeah, just go for it. And then 4 heals. So the deck is very simple. You have 19 beasts, you have 16 triggers, that's 35 cards, you have 1 Moon Gate, that's 36, you have 4 PGs, that's 40. So you have like 10 space, which 3 of them is your person ride, you have 7 now. 4 of them is the wolf, you're free, right? So just counting those, your actual kind of free space is kind of like just choosing the Bobo Mines, choosing this, yeah, around 5. That's basically what you have. So yeah, the deck itself is pretty tight, if you ask me. And so far there isn't much room for you to adjust, where you can just try like what I did early times with those 5 cards. I used 3 of the grade 1 search set order and grade 2 or higher, and 2 of the fishing orders. That is kind of working, but I'm improving efficiency, that's why I'm going for this. Or you can go for this as well. Or if you have other like pieces that you want to put, then you can probably just throw in that 5 slots. If you're going for like 16 crows, then your free stage is basically just 4, so it's probably just a play setup, whatever, and call it a day. So some people are going for 16 crows for Bobo Mine, and then just the rest is blown up, right? So yeah, so far even though you do see a lot of the same card, but I think this idea is also very interesting to play with. So I won't be owning this deck because it's just different, allow me to use it split. So I tried it out, adjust to what I think is better. So I would just keep it like that and let my friends play with it, and then he will just improve it in the future. So yeah, if you do have other options that you're using, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But so far I think this is a good way to proceed, so give it a try, let me know in the comments down below as well, and let's see how it goes. Yeah, of course, subscribe for more unboxing, deck fights, deck profiles, and yeah, I think that's it for this deck profile. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.